You know, when this defenseman captain the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds of the 1970s, a lot of people figured he was going to have a great career in the NHL. Unfortunately, it didn't happen for him in that major pro league, but eventually moved to WHA, had a good minor league career, and also became a movie star. You can pretty well guess the movie. Now, today we're going to be talking about the Boston Bruins' number 72 overall draft pick in the 1974 NHL entry draft, Bill Reid. Now, Bill Reid, born Toronto, came to major prominence by playing for a number of minor teams back in the day, but also skated with Ohio State University before going to the Sioux Greyhounds for 2 seasons. Now, his final year with the squad, his draft year, he was captain. 13 goals, 43 assists for 56 points with 240 minutes in penalties. Now, Boston took him to the 4th round, 72 overall. He was, I think, a top 45 prospect by the Hockey News. But the Michigan Stags, of all teams, took him as their 1st round pick, 4th overall in their draft. Now, he decided to sign with the Stags. However, he only played 11 games with them that year, but played the majority of that season with the Syracuse Blazers of the NAHL, where he had 9 points in 32 regular season games and 7 games in the playoffs with no goals. Now, he played on the regular season champion Syracuse in 75. Now, he was on the Baltimore WHA team that folded after the 75 season. His rights was eventually acquired by Calgary and a special draft of players from defunct teams. Now, due to his connections, he appeared in the opening scene of the movie Slapshot as a member of visiting team, the Presidents. Now, wearing number 2, he collides with real-life Johnstown Jets teammate Vern Campagado, number 14, on the play that allows the home team, the Charlestown Chiefs, to score its first goal of the game. Now, he got in the movie because he was on the 75-76 Johnstown Jets roster that contributed several extras to production during filming of Johnstown. Now, William Ernest Reid, as his full name is known, he's also known for the great handlebar mustache that he proudly wore in many of the photos you see of him online. Now, with the Calgary Cowboys in 76, he had 5 points in 29 games. 76 with the Springfield Indians had 1 point in 4 games. And with Johnstown, he had 22 points in 28 regular season games and 7 in the playoffs. Now, 1978, he didn't make the San Diego Mariners of the WHA, but the San Diego Mariners of the PHL. He also played that year with the Drumheller Miners of the ASHL. Now, in the late 70s, early 80s, he played the OHA for a number of seasons with Welland and Dundas Merchants, a very popular squad for everybody that listens to the channel for Dundas. Now, a little mistake a while ago. He was the number 53 prospect in the Hockey News draft preview. Now, if you can find some of the old magazines from the 70s, the Hockey News, the draft preview, it's quite an interesting take on who was considered prospects and the ones that made it and the ones that didn't make it. Now, at the time he was drafted, ladies and gentlemen, he had just turned 20, but that was an underage draft year as well. So he was sort of an overage draft, if that makes any sense. Now, at 5'11", 190, he had good size, good movement, but I look at that last season with Sault Ste. Marie, and, it was a good year for that OMJHL powerhouse. But, it's kind of a bummer with Boston at a draft. Besides Young Howe, they took, and, it was sort of, well, Tom Madure as well. Mark Howe was the best pick in the whole series, but of course, Mark ended up being, mostly Hartford, Philadelphia, and Detroit. Never played with Boston anyway. So this is the latest in the series of the 1970s vintage podcasts we're doing. Some stars, some semi-stars, and some what do you call head scratchers. Why either they never made the WHA or NHL. So if you like what we're doing here, give us a like, comment, and subscribe. If you're a movie fan and you haven't seen it, check out Slapshot. Have a good day.